Every single day trying to get me to admit why I brought the bullet. Like, if you just say that it's yours, you know, you can go home, this and that, you only like have to pay a small fee, and I'm like, the bullet is not mine.
You mentioned that your original flight was postponed. So dahil doon, dinala kayo ng airline sa hotel at nag-overnight kayo sa hotel. Hindi po ba?
Yes, sir.
And bago na postpone yan, dumaan na kayo ng screening.
Yes, sir.
At nung dumaan kayo ng screening sa OTS, walang nakita.
Wala po.
Tapos pumunta kayong hotel, nag-overnight kayo sa hotel, at bumalik kayo the next day.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that means, if the allegation that the bullet was put by Lane there was true, Lane should have put it that night while he was in the hotel.
Yes, sir. And they found the 22 caliber bullet that is Philippine made.
Philippine made.
Opo.
Ryan, you were saying this a while ago about they were holding the flap while they were bringing it across the conveyor, the X-ray machine. Could you recount that?
Yes. Well, after it had come through the conveyor for, I don't know which time it was, 6th or 7th time, Mr. Marvin Garcia was holding the outer flap open, parallel to the floor, while...
So the outer flap was open, parallel to the floor,
right,
while it was going through the...
Well, it had already gone through the conveyor belt. It was fixed. It was at the end of the conveyor where it was stationary.
Okay.
But Mrs. Senya was digging through the main portion of the bag, looking, I guess, for the alleged bullet, while Mr. Garcia was just supporting the flap with nothing in it. But it's just the outer part of the bag.
Why, if he did not hold the flap, would the flap fall down to the floor, or was the flap attached to the bag?
Well, it's attached to the bag.
That's why it's a flap, right?
It's not made out of glass, so I mean it wouldn't have shattered or anything. It's just a flap with nothing in
Okay.
it. But his hands were underneath it,
His hands were underneath the flap.
which is where the outer flap was that the bullet was found eventually.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that he inserted the bullet at that time, but it was a little curious as to why he spent so much time supporting this flap with nothing in it.
Okay. And in the video that I saw, they passed through the X-ray several times. Did they tell you the reason why?
What they told me was they were trying to find something.
They were trying to find something.
Yes. And then almost at the end of my video, which is the very, very last part where they put the luggage in the conveyor for how many times, that's when they called me and said, here it is. That's when they told me. But when I asked Lane, when did they show you the X-ray? He said, Lane, for how many times did they put the luggage in the conveyor before they showed you the X-ray?
About 6 or 7 times.
6 or 7 times.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now I understand you're charged in the Pasay City Regional Trial Court. And I understand the case is not going through because of what? Why did it not go through?
Because we believe that what they said was the OTS hired a private lawyer. So, of course, the judge needs to give them 10 days to submit evidence. And then after 10 days, our lawyer would have a comment after 5 days. And so they have to restudy the case. That's what they said.
And your complaint, I understand you filed a complaint with the NBI against the OTS officers and the police officers?
Yes, sir, we did file.
How did that go?
Well, our investigator said that he requested a series of CCTV and X-ray from the OTS, but They responded with a letter that yes, we would send it to you, but he has never gotten them. So our charges has not went through because there were no enough evidences. Our investigator needs the CCTV from them and the X-ray before he can file our charges. So nakahang pa po yun.
So you mean the NBI cannot investigate because the video material is still with OTS and OTS has not
Yes,
yet.
sir.
Not yet will get.
Hiningi po niya yung documents. Hiningi niya yung passport ni Lane, tsaka po ticket. And then sabi ko po, boarding pass po ang meron ako, wala pa akong ticket niya. You can even see in the video na pati siya na surprise. Ticket? Sabi ko, opo, kasi galing po kami dito kahapon. So nagulat din siya na, galing na pala kayo dito kahapon. Sabi ko, opo, same screening, same din po lahat. Pero ang nakagulat po, wala po kayong nakita kahapon. So, isa din po yun sa punto namin. Then after po noon, tinurn over po kami kay SPO Tuklarin. During that time, doon na po nila nakita na nagtitake po ako ng video. Because I have to hand it to my husband because I'm going to the desk of the airline to move our tickets. And when I gave my husband the action camera, we were not hiding it, so I handed it to him na parang normal lang po. Then, doon na po nagulat. If you will see the video, lahat po nang nandun sa video, nagulat na, may camera. Tapos makikita mo po yung body language ni Miss Maria L. Masenya. She slowly pulled away from the frame. Gumanon po siya. Na parang...
Paatras?
Apo. Tapos po, pinapatay po sa akin ni SPO Tuklarin yung camera po. Tapos sinabi niya po sa akin, burahin mo yan kung hindi mumultahan kita. I'll fine you. Sabi ko, bakit po? Sabi niya, bawal yung ginagawa mo. Then I looked around. If there's a warning inside the airport, if it says that you cannot take any videos or camera or any pictures, wala naman po. So, bilang po sa naniniwala po ako na lahat ng bawal o di dapat gawin, di po ba dapat nakapaskil doon? Warning, bawal ganito. Wala pong ganun.
Family, no? From that time that this happened to you till today, has anyone from the office of the OTS Administrator Rocomono or from Chief Superintendent Balagtas, General Manager Honrado or Secretaries Abaya's office interviewed you and got your side?
No, sir.
Wala.
Wala po kaming na-receive na letter, text, call. No, nothing, sir.
Like what we're doing now, no one gave you the opportunity for this side.
No, sir.
So, Mr. Chairman, with the indulgence of the Senator, Secretary Abayas here. Sir, you told the media you're investigating and you will get to all sides. They're saying now no one from the 4 offices have asked them their side. So are you investigating or from your point of view, sila nang guilty?
Definitely not. I sincerely believe they're not guilty. I think they have nothing, they had no intent on committing a violation of law. We continue to...
If that's the case, sir, then why is there a case pending against them? And why isn't any of the 4 offices assisting or asking them for their side? Dapat ni hindi final yan sa fiscal's office if there was an investigation. But none of the 4 offices daw went to them. So they just left it to the police officers after the media, bahala na sila sa buhay nila.
Well, first of all, the investigation that is ongoing, OTS is conducting its own administrative investigation for violations of their personnel. I think Aviation Security Group is doing the same. But as briefed to me, the procedure is once a detection is made, automatic based on the standard operating procedures, this is turned over to the Aviation Security Group. The Aviation Security Group, as the law enforcer, then coordinates with the prosecutor, who then eventually starts the judicial process. So,
Yes, sir, let me interrupt you there. That is the normal criminal investigation. So if someone nakuha ng bala, you describe the normal criminal investigation. But they are saying here, they are the victims. And sa media, sinabi ng all of your offices, this will be investigated. But until this time, none of their offices, OTS or the Aviation Security Group, has even interviewed them. So, from their point of view, won't there still be fear from the people going to the NAIA, yung everyday na pasero, don't there will be fear na yung sila ang biktima in their eyes, but none of the offices here has tried to get their side. What kind of investigation is that? If none of your offices went to them, ang iniimbestigahan nyo lang yung personnel nyo. Yung alleged victim ni hindi nyo ini-interview.
Well, I think it's quite difficult for a office like OTS to actually extend the investigation to the passengers, because we believe, I think from their end, once it enters the judicial process, DOJ or prosecutors or the PNP would be in a better position to
Secretary,
get the full
excuse
picture.
me, I'm sorry, but that's absolutely wrong. Because it should not enter the judicial process until their side is heard. The investigators, the police, the OTS, etc., will make the first determination. Who is the victim here and who is the guilty party? If they weren't even asked and they complained, then their side was not, dun sa level na yun, walang due process. Anyway, I'll re-answer it later, Secretary, so that they can brief you as it goes along. My point is, sumabog na tong buong issue, and those who are complaining, panay sa korte nagpapaliwanag. Dapat sa airport pa lang, meron na silang opportunity na magsumbong at makakuha ng relief. No? I think you see that problem now, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Secretary.
That happens at the level of the aviation security group, because OTS is not a law enforcer. It merely detects, and part of the procedures, upon detection, it's automatically turned over to the aviation security group.
Yes, sir, but you promised us through the media after your meeting in Malacanang that all of this will be investigated. Pero kung hindi pa sila pumunta ng Senado, none of you here are getting their side. So you're not investigating it. An investigation is where you ask both sides, you gather the facts. No one went to them to gather the facts. So in your eyes, they're already guilty.
As I've said, Your Honor, no. From the very start,
then why
I
is
feel that they are not guilty. Probably I'd allow OTS
Yes.
and aviation security group
Anyway,
to
you get my
explain
point, Mr. Chair.
their procedures, Your Honor.